Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a story you've probably heard 1,000 times, The Milkmaid and Her Dream. But stick with me because it has a really sharp lesson for us today about ambition and how easily it can all go wrong. And really, this is the question at the heart of the whole thing, isn't it? When does that awesome dream you have for the future stop being productive and start becoming a distraction? When does it stop helping you and start, getting in your way? It's a tricky balance we all have to find. All right, so let's get into it. Our story starts with this young milkmaid. Her name is Gita, and she's a hard worker, for sure. But her head, well, it's pretty much always in the clouds. And right away, you see the main tension in her life. On one side, you've got Gita, the total dreamer, completely focused on what could be, all the wealth and success down the road. But on the other side, you've got her grandmother, who is the absolute opposite. She's a realist, grounded in the here and now, focused only on the work that's right in front of them. And her grandmother says this to her all the time: don't build castles in the air. It's not just, a nagging comment. It's basically the theme of the entire story. It's a warning, a bit of foreshadowing that just kind of hangs over everything that's about to happen. So you might be wondering, what's the trigger? What takes Gita from just regular, everyday daydreaming and pushes her into this huge, elaborate fantasy? Well, it all comes down to one unexpected opportunity. So here's what happens. The local village headman, the Sarpanch, is throwing this massive wedding for his daughter, and he needs a lot of fresh milk for the feast. For Gita, this isn't just your typical Tuesday delivery. This is a big deal, a really, really good opportunity. And here's the kicker. He's offering to pay her double what she would normally make in an entire day, all for this one delivery. Now, for someone like Gita, who is already obsessed with getting rich, man, this is like throwing gasoline on a bonfire. Her imagination just goes into overdrive. But, of course, with a big reward comes a big risk, right? Her grandmother, ever the realist, gives her this one final, very strict warning. Remember, she says, not a single drop of milk should fall on the ground. She's basically saying, don't mess this up. Every single drop is precious. Okay, so Gita sets off on her journey, carefully balancing that big pot of milk on her head. And as she starts walking, that little spark of an opportunity, well, it starts to spiral. It grows into this massive, super detailed fantasy about her future. And you have to imagine the scene, right? This isn't an easy walk. The path is all rocky and uneven. The pot is heavy. Her feet probably ache. And it's that very real physical discomfort that makes her mind want to escape. She starts dreaming of a life where she doesn't have to do this kind of hard work anymore. And her plan, wow, it just takes off. It starts off pretty reasonably, right? First, she thinks, okay, I'll take this extra money and buy a bunch of chickens. Then those chickens will lay eggs, which she'll sell. That means more money, which means more chickens. Then it gets bigger. She'll buy a bullock cart so she doesn't have to walk these awful paths. Then she'll be rich enough to hire servants. And then, and this is where it really gets wild, she imagines herself becoming the absolute richest woman around, even richer than the Sarapanch's wife. But it doesn't even stop there. Her dream isn't just about money. No, it's about status. It's about power. She pictures all of these wealthy men lining up, desperate to marry her. And in her fantasy, she's the one in control. She gets to say yes or no. And this is where it all comes to a head. We're at the climax of the story, that one crucial moment where her incredible fantasy is about to collide head-on with reality. So she's totally lost in her own mind. She's picturing it so clearly. She's powerful, she's desirable, and she's turning down all these suitors. And in her daydream, she gives this defiant little toss of her head, as if to say, no, not you. The thing is, while she tosses her head in her fantasy, she actually tosses her head in real life. And that's it. The pot on her head wobbles for a second, then tips, and then, crash, it smashes on the rocky path. And just like that, everything is gone. The milk, which was the one real, tangible thing her whole dream was built on, it's just a puddle on the ground. And with it, poof, the chickens, the cart, the rich husband, all of it vanished in a single, careless moment. So, wow, what a tough lesson. What are we supposed to take away from Gita's big mistake? Well, it all comes back to what her grandmother warned her about, right? Building castles in the air. That's exactly what she did. She built this huge, amazing, ambitious plan, but it was based on something she hadn't even secured yet. Her dream had absolutely no foundation. The big takeaway here is that dreaming about the future is great, but it can get so intoxicating, It can make you sloppy and careless about what you're doing right now. Gita wasn't just making a business plan. She was using it to escape the hard walk she was on. She fell in love with the idea of being rich and powerful, and she totally lost sight of the one simple, crucial job she had to do first. Just get the milk there safely. And that really brings the question back to us, doesn't it? It's awesome to have big dreams. We all should. But are you, right now, carrying a dream that's so big, so distracting, that maybe you're not watching your step today?